Right. You know, you're the first officer I've spoken to in this town.
Really?
And I find that very good because this seemed like when I got here that this was going to be prime spot for traffic stops all the time.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen one.
Really?
Oh, I saw one traffic stop, but it was a trooper.
Yeah.
They're horrible. The troopers are really bad, especially
so,
about giving their names.
Oh,
my
goodness. So my name is Zach Alvarado. Like I said, my badge number is 228.
Yeah.
And you can usually find us. I look for drunk drivers.
You look for drunk drivers?
My main one of my peeves is DWI.
All right.
That's one of my peeves.
Sure. That's how you guys get your money.
Yeah. But we don't see, or at least I don't see anything like that.
That's how your salary's paid.
Yeah.
Mad Mothers Against Drunk Driving. They spend a lot of money to hire police officers to specifically concentrate on DUIs.
If that's the way it is, then I haven't seen a dime of it.
Well, they don't put their name on your check, but your department certainly gets money from that.
We're paid through it's taxes or whatever. Like
yeah.
However that is.
Yeah.
I don't know who pays my salary, but
I don't think they do give it like straight to each department. I think they give it to the state or you know what I mean, and then the state doles it out, right? But you have to like have certain numbers of DUIs in order to.
So I've worked a great deal of DWI cases.
You have?
I've worked a great deal of accidents and things like that are caused by us through the issue, and it's pretty horrific. So
yeah, I'm totally against drunk driving.
I'm
totally against it, you know?
Hey, so, as far as DWI goes, if you're on a traffic stop, if you get traffic stopped...
Oh, me? I'm not going to get traffic stopped.
Let me ask you this. If somebody is making incriminating statements as part of that traffic stop, do they have to be Mirandized, even though it's a temporary...
No.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Well, they don't have to be Mirandized until they've been arrested and then you're questioning them.
Yeah.
But voluntary, that's the ruling on the court. See, because it's not a right, it's a privilege. And that privilege is decided by Congress, right, of what it is. See, so Congress can make a law, right, to change it if they wanted to. And the courts have established like Miranda versus Arizona, they established that, you see. But once it was established, it cannot be deprived or denied. But before it was established, it was not a right. So it's not a right now either, right? That's the difference between a right and a privilege. But they're both rock solid once they've been established, except a right, the legislators cannot go and change that right. Okay, a right is not subject to the vote. Right? If 99% of the people didn't want free speech, it wouldn't matter. Okay? They don't have the power to change a right. You see, but if 99% of the people didn't want Miranda, they could have their legislators pass a law saying that you don't need to Mirandize. Okay? They could. They have that power because it's a privilege. Just like they can say what you can say and what you can't say.
They're really,
you see, your speech is not a right. It's a privilege. See, your boss can tell you what you can and can't say. They can regulate your social media.
No,
you see, yes, they can. Any business can regulate.
Departmental policy versus our constitutional rights.
Any business can tell you what you can say, how you can dress.
It's policy.
That's policy that affects you. It's not a law.
I still have rights, and I could go around exercising them, which I love.
You can, but if you do it, okay, whatever you do is a privilege. And if you go too far and you go past the privilege line, then you get kicked out of your person, you get fired, and then you have your rights back. You're not going to go to jail for saying the wrong thing.
Yeah, it just depends on the policy violation, you know?
But you're going to lose your privileges if you do that. And you have privileges, see, like to wear that uniform, to speed to an accident, to wear a gun inside Walmart, even though the sign says nobody else can. Those are privileges.
Non-applicability.
Yeah, see, that doesn't apply to you. That's a privilege.
Yeah, it's
right?
in the interest of public safety.
And if you break the policy, you might lose your privileges, but you get your rights back. But if you have your rights, you don't have privileges. I have rights. I don't have privileges. right? You have privileges. You do not have rights.
That's the law.
You are not allowed to press. You can't just go on CNN. You don't get to just start your own press agency while you're in uniform. That's not cool. You can't do that.
There are policies that regulate that kind of stuff.
You took an oath. You swore an allegiance. So your freedom of religion is gone. Your Bible is the Constitution. So I can choose any religion I want because I haven't taken an allegiance to the Constitution.
Well, there are departments that, you know, I mean, like mine. We pray all the time. We pray before we go out on shift. We pray. We have chaplains that are on duty.
You pray on lots of unsuspecting motorists all day long.
No.
Yeah, you do. Sure you do.
No, so, like, back to the Fourth Amendment. Back to the Fourth Amendment. We don't just go and just traffic stop people for no reason.
I've noticed that. I complimented you on that. I haven't seen one stop. This seems like this would be a really good spot. Most cities use areas like this.
You have to be able to articulate why you're stopping somebody, why you're restricting their freedom of movement. You have to be able to articulate it. You just can't go and just pull people over all day long for no reason at all.
I'm not saying officers are doing that on the regular.
You have to have reasonable suspicion at bare minimum. You have to. I'll use DWI as an example. We're trained on different cues, and these cues have percentages that reflect that, hey, if this person is driving in this manner, or if they're exhibiting this kind of driving behavior, there is a certain chance, there's a percentage that they're operating a motor vehicle while they're impaired. While weaving in the lane of traffic isn't necessarily a traffic violation that I can pull somebody over for because it's a violation, it certainly is a cue that I can pull somebody over under the suspicion that they may be intoxicated. So
if they're a person.
It's their...
If they're a person.
It's a totality of circumstances for things like that.
If they're a person.
So if a vehicle's in an area that matches the description of a suspect vehicle, you know, and it's seen leaving the scene, and it's likely, you know, within a reasonable amount of time, then there's probably a good chance it's the vehicle of interest. So
if they're a person.
So
they have to be a person.
So a good example.
Do they not have to be a person?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Your code says no person shall do this, right? No person shall do that. When we're talking about drunk driving, we're driving. Okay, driving is any person. Any person. Is a monkey a person?
If he operates a motor vehicle while on a public place.
Is a monkey a person?
While intoxicated.
Is a monkey a person?
That's your question.
Yeah, it's a serious question. Is a monkey a person?
It's an animal. Right?
Is it a person?
I wouldn't say it was a person.
You wouldn't say. How do you know?
I don't know.
Because you've never looked up what a person is, have you?
Well, a person.
I know you haven't, because you think you're one of the people. Clearly, you haven't looked up any of this.
I am one of the people.
You're not. You're a servant of the people.
I'm a servant of the people, and I am one of the people.
You can't be the owner and the employee at the same time. The people own this country. It's of the people, for the people, by the people, and you work for the people.
I do work for the people.
The people trade, give you money in exchange for your rights, and they gave you privileges. See, they're holding your rights as a lien.
Yeah.
Okay, to make sure that you do your job. So, right? And if you don't do your job, it's just like if somebody gets hired at Starbucks, they're not the owner. Okay, they're an employee.
Look.
The people are the owners.
Like I said, I owe the people of my community two things. Number one, like I said,
all the people, not your community.
Of course, like all the people, we have powers even outside our jurisdiction.
No, you owe the people. I thought you said you owe the people.
No. I owe them, you know, protection. I protect their that's what I uphold. The Constitution, and number two, the mission statement of my department, which is to provide the people, the citizens of New Braunfels, with responsive, courteous, and professional law enforcement services. And it's a mission statement that I take very seriously. Yeah,
but let me give you another example so that maybe you can understand the difference between people and the servant of the people. See, right now, you have no reasonable articulable suspicion to believe that I've committed a crime, right? Okay, so you have no authority over me right now. Right. You have no authority over me. I am one of the people.
You are the people.
Yes, but you are my servant right now.
I'm a public servant.
Now, if I commit a crime and you have reasonable articulable suspicion to believe that, then I'm no longer over you. Now you have authority over me.
I am bound.
Do you see how it changes?
I'm bound.
Right now, I'm above you. If I commit a crime, then you would move above me.
Like I said,
you would have authority over me.
Yeah.
But right now, I have authority over you. I can't literally tell you what to do and make you do it, right? But you still work for all the people.
I do.
Right? We don't directly tell you what to do. Not directly, but we do tell you what to do through our legislators, through policy. We affect the policy, right? We do tell you what to do, just not on an individual basis.
So the people, law is always, it's living and breathing. It's always changing, and it just goes with the demands of society,
Yeah, but if you can't say you have authority over me right now,
no, I don't.
Then you're below me.
I'm a public servant. Yes, I am.
Yes.
I'm at the beck and call of the people.
Yes, so you're not one of the people. See, there's an obvious pecking order here.
Yeah, but we're talking about rights earlier.
You don't have rights. You're a servant.
I am a public servant.
How can a servant have a right? That's absurd.
I do have rights. So if we
no servant can have a right.
It goes back to applying the logic.
Did slaves have rights?
So what?
Did slaves have rights?
So I'm not going to get into
why. It's very important. They called slaves persons.
So
they didn't call slaves people. They called them persons.
Let's go back to what you're telling me. So you using the logic that I don't have rights. That's saying that I'm not protected under the Fourth Amendment.
I didn't say that. I said you're very clearly protected. No.
Yeah.
That's not what I said. You weren't listening.
I have rights. Like
you weren't listening.
Else.
The Fourth Amendment applies to you. It applies to persons. The Fifth Amendment applies to you. It applies to persons. The Fifth Amendment has nothing to do with me. I do not have a Fifth Amendment right now. I have a First Amendment right not to make speech. I don't need the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment's not for me. The Fifth Amendment's not a right. It's a privilege. It's always there. Unless it's not. The Constitution's always there. But the privileges are up for definition and up for regulation. Okay? They can be changed. Like I said, a law could be passed tomorrow saying no more Miranda rights. And that would be perfectly constitutional. That you don't have to tell somebody what their rights are. That's a privilege. I didn't say it would happen, but they have the power to do it.
Yeah, so
they don't have the right the power to change the First Amendment.
Yeah, so it's just like this. It's like I have the right to vote. I have the right to cast a ballot.
That is called a right in the 22nd Amendment, and it's very specifically given to citizens, not to people.
Yeah,
but it's not the same kind of right as the original rights because it was given to you by the government. It wasn't inalienable. It is called a right in the Constitution.
Our rights are rights.
That's the only right that is delegated to the citizens, though, is the right to vote.
Okay.
And there's three amendments on that, the 19th, the 22nd, and the 24th.
Yeah.
Right? But not all citizens have the right to vote. Not children. Not criminals.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you got to be 18, you got to register to vote, and all that other goodness, so...
It's not a right. It's a privilege. If you have to have an ID to vote, then it's a privilege because you have to ask the government for permission for that ID, don't you?
I think it's outstanding though, and I like to see more. And I encourage to see more of our young people out there casting votes. And not a lot of people. I mean, some of our younger folks, they don't take advantage of it. They don't think about it. I encourage them to get out there to the polls and actually, cast a vote. So.
You encourage them to get out there to the polls.
To vote.
To vote.
Yeah, they have the power to change things. Everybody has the power to change things. So, and that's just the way our system's set up. So, you don't like something, be the change,
Yeah, the citizens vote, though.
You don't like the way something's going, you don't like the laws, go to City Hall. Go to a town meeting,
That's for citizens.
Yeah, just...
Not the people.
Yeah, so...
The people don't vote.
Yeah, just... That's the thing.
Only citizens.
You want change? You got to be the change, man. It's like me, man. I mean, I'm very much for. I take my mission statement very seriously. I support the Constitution of the United States, man. My dad, my whole family.
I'm going to get you to pull it out. Do you have a copy of it with you?
What?
The Constitution?
Actually. Oh, I left it at home.
You have a pocket version?
I actually...
I really want to get one. I haven't seen one for sale.
I have two pocket versions, and I have one in a binder, in my Police Explorer binder. But
where do you buy them?
They were given to me. actually. Yeah,
they're really hard to find.
I had two that were given to me, and then I had one. Where did I get it? And then one I actually printed it out, and I keep it in my binder for lessons, because that's one of the very first things that we learn is the Fourth Amendment. And
you're not learning it. You're learning a paraphrased version of the Fourth Amendment. So, you need to look at the Constitution with a specific eye towards how certain words are used: person, people, citizen, right, privilege. Look at those words and how and when they're used, and then you will open your eyes.
For me, it's just I don't treat anybody any different than anyone else, man. To me, everybody is... They're
not all the same. There's an order. It doesn't mean that you can do anything you want.
I don't put... Man, so I grew up in a very rough neighborhood.
It doesn't mean you can disrespect him. It doesn't mean you can be mean. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, see, you have authority over criminals. Well, you're above them. You tell them what to do. That's your job. That's what the people wanted you to do.
But again, I can't exercise that authority unless I can properly articulate it.
But where'd you get the authority? Where'd you get the authority?
From the Code of Criminal Procedure.
From the people.
Okay, well, if you want to know, the Code of Criminal Procedure...
Who gave the... Which comes from the state, which comes from the feds, which comes from the Constitution, which came from the people, right? Mm-hmm. And the people secured the blessings of liberty to themselves.
Yeah, so...
The preamble?
Yeah, what about it?
They secured the blessings of liberty to themselves.
So
you don't secure the blessings of liberty to yourself. It was secured to you by the people.
I'm not out to serve myself in any way. I'm actually one of the... Okay, so that courthouse down there, when they put us on the stand, we're just like everybody else. We're a witness. It doesn't matter who we arrested or whatever. We're a witness just like everybody else. What we do is we enforce the law. The laws come from the people.
They come from the people.
Yeah, that's where they come from.
But you're missing the key point here, is the people had the power to give themselves the power. Okay, it wasn't given to them by somebody. The people are the end of the line. Okay, they secured the blessings of liberty to themselves. And then they gave you the power to establish justice. Because see, we the people, in order to establish justice, hereby ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America, right? So see, they're giving the authority to establish justice to the government, right? But the people, nobody gave them the authority to give the authority to the government. They had it, right? See, that's called sovereignty.
Yeah, so... Yeah,
right? So the people have sovereignty.
Yeah,
and the state does not.
Yeah, we're a sovereign nation, man.
No, the people are sovereign. Yeah. The government is referred to that way, but they don't truly have sovereignty because their power comes from the people.
So the way I see
the people are the true sovereigns.
So the way I see it is I'm at the beck and call of the people. I'm at the beck and call of the community. If they ask me to go somewhere, I don't say, I'm not going to go there, or, man, that sounds dangerous. I got to go.
But there's a difference, see, because the people would never ask you to protect them.
Somebody has to.
The citizens ask you to protect them.
Somebody has to.
The citizens are the sheep. You are the wolves, and the people are the shepherds. The shepherds.
Wolves to me are those who would do harm and prey on the sheep. That's what a wolf is to me.
Well, some sheep you need to eat.
Yeah, so no.
You need to eat.
The wolves are the ones that keep the people. The wolves are the ones that the sheepdogs are the ones that keep the people. The wolves away. I'm sorry. Yeah, to me, wolves are the ones that prey on the sheep, and that's what I'm here to stop. And I know because I've seen it firsthand.
You've seen it firsthand?
Now, what?
I'm asking you. You've seen it firsthand. You said.
Yeah, I've seen. So wolves are those that.
No, you said you.
Yeah, I've seen it firsthand. I've been a cop.
Growing up, but you said growing up.
Yeah, growing up also. I grew up in a nasty neighborhood.
You mean you saw cops preying on the sheep?
No, I've been there when people were breaking into houses and trying to hurt other people.
People don't break into houses. Criminals break into houses.
They are then criminals. Yeah, so
they're not people.
They're persons. They're
persons.
They're human beings.
They're human beings.
They're choosing to break the law.
The word human being isn't in the Constitution.
So, but you're saying we brought up wolves, sheepdog. If you
this is an example, right?
Yeah, we're talking about the sheepdog prerogative now. Then the wolves just
fine. You want to call criminals wolves, and you're the sheepdogs.
You referred to police officers.
All right, let's call you the sheepdog, and the criminals the wolves, and the citizens the sheep, and the people are the shepherd. Okay, the sheepdog does not attack the shepherd.
The sheepdog is there to keep the wolves away from the sheep.
Sure, but it does not attack the shepherd.
I work for the sheep.
No, you work for the shepherd.
I work for the sheep.
The shepherd owns the sheepdog.
So I don't.
The sheep don't own the sheepdog. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I'm here.
You protect the sheep.
I do protect the sheep.
You work for the shepherd.
So,
a sheepdog works for the shepherd. This is your example.
No. But you referred to the police officers as wolves.
And then I said I'll change it for your benefit here, and we'll call the criminals the wolves, the citizens are the sheep, the police are the sheepdogs, and the people are the shepherds.
So I'm here to protect the flock, man.
To protect the flock and to serve the shepherd.
So
to serve the people.
If you want to call it how it is, and you want to call it true, I work for the people.
You work for the people, and you protect the citizens. The citizens. The people don't ask their servants to protect them. The people protect themselves. That's why they have a Second Amendment right to bear arms.
What is it you say? You're like, press on. And you're like,
press on. Assemble forth. Legion about. Sound off. Amble. Pursue happiness with your life and your liberty on your property, and for God's sakes, exercise your Fourth Amendment right as one of the people not to be in your person.
Whatever that means.
Press on. Yeah. Have a good day, After Fox. Press harder. Press now. Like, comment, subscribe. Spread the word. Right? Press on.
Master by the name of Bates, smoking more than all 50 states combined. Yeah, right, I gotta stay on the grind. I got no money, so my weed's on my mind. I hit the club, but you know I can't dance. 7 and 7 in my cutoff chance. Tie that shirt in my long ass hair. What part of how I look makes you think I care?